Hello everyone and welcome to a double Sun Country unboxing video. It's a crazy week here. Got two Sun Countries in 1 week and I wanted to unbox them together here, so we got two of them. As you see here, this 2001 Gemini release right here, and then the newest Sun Country release, the Panda Models Sun 800. So really cool to see there. Got opposite ends of the spectrum, 2001 release and a 2022 release. So this will be a very fun unboxing to get into, and well, we'll get into it right away. And we'll start with the older release, the Gemini Jets Sun Country 800 in the old livery with no winglets. Sun Country technically still has one of these, so this is still accurate to some extent. This was released back in 2001, and as you can tell, this is used. I won this in an eBay bid, in fact. This was, I only got this for $33, which is a great deal for this, because this is quite a rare model now. So pretty awesome to get there. And of course, this will be used a ton of MSP. We'll go to the back here, and there you can see 2001 Gemini Jets Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. So here I'll pull up an image of the eBay bid right there, so you can tell that I'm not lying. But we'll start a review of the box here with the front. Of course, this is the old silver box, which is quite nice, just like the Northwest that I recently got. The Boeing 737-800 Sun Country right there, and there's the digital image of the aircraft. We'll lift the flap in here, and as you can see, it's very much used. This is all yellowed. And it also has a little flag here, which I kind of miss. I kind of like that flag that they used to have on the boxes. Sorry about the light, it's kind of getting a glare here. And here's the flap, so feel free to read that if you like. And we'll go over all the sides here. So this side has the aircraft there, Sun Country 737-800, and the item number, all that, and Gemini's claims. And then same thing, yeah, but this one's a little bit different. This one's like the Northwest, not suitable for children under 8 years, not 14. And here is the back, which is almost the same as what's in the flap. It just has the Israel that gets stuff over here, and another digital, the same one as in the front image of the model. So really cool there. Really nice box. I like the old ones. Kind of miss them, honestly, but the new ones are also good. Gemini just has some clean boxes, whether it's the old one or the new one. I think they all just look pretty clean. This one doesn't have all the limited edition everywhere in it, but we'll get the model unboxed here. All the yellow plastic. And take a look at this ancient thing. Also, it has the nose wheel cover, which we can all appreciate. I don't believe this was original with the model, though. I think this was just from the eBay seller, which I got it from. But oh, look at that thing. Wow. And we'll get it zoomed in on the front of the aircraft here. We'll start with the cockpit windows with the eyebrows on the old 737s. Again, they're very prominent here. Then we have the L1 door, and actually we'll get to, there's the nose gear. I think this is plastic, and that's also a little bit yellowed, unfortunately. But the old livery had, of course, the blue S logo here, and the nose of the aircraft, which does not exist on the Ariel text font livery or the new livery, the Tide Pod livery, of course. Here are the Sun Country titles up here. Move it back a little bit. We have the overwing exits and the exit paths. And here's the engine, which actually has some decent details on it here, which is kind of impressive to see. This model, of course, has no antennae or anything. Like I said, this is the 2001 release. Here's the edge of the wing, which doesn't have any winglet, which most of them do. And it looks like the wingtip here, it looks like it dips down a little bit, which I don't know what. I'm guessing that's just an inaccuracy with the model. I don't think that's how it actually looked in real life, but I mean, it's barely noticeable, so I'd say it's fine. We move to the back of the aircraft, 737-800 here, registration November 800, Sierra Yankee. I don't believe that's an actual registration for a Sun Country aircraft, though I looked it up and there was nothing on flight radar. So maybe either this aircraft got retired or that's not an actual one, which I probably should have checked to see if this one got retired, but I don't believe that is an actual registration. Well, it's not one that they currently have, at least. So I'll throw up an image of this if this actually exists. And now we go into the tail, which has the old Sun Country logo. This is actually their old one. They did update it a little bit, which I will show on the other model. Well, this one is a little bit different. So this is their older one on the tail, but still very nice right here. Other side, pretty much the same thing. I guess we can look at the top here, but not much to see because there's no antennae, or like I said, there's pretty much nothing on this in terms of other external details. Here are the main gear. Of course, the gear don't roll because this is an old model. I wouldn't expect them to. But the underside, we have the nose gear here. I'll see if I can get it focused. You can kind of tell it's a little bit yellowed there, which is a bit unfortunate. Here we have the cargo door, and then the Gemini Jets logo in silver. I'm not sure what those two orange things are. And then here we have the stand hole, and then the landing gear compartment. And here is the rear cargo door. And now that's pretty much it for this model. Like I said, there's not too much in terms of details to go over on this one. Just trying to get it centered there on the camera. But a very nice model here by Gemini. Super awesome to have this because this is quite rare. I think this is the only chance I would have had to get it because this, of course, was an eBay bid, and I got it for pretty cheap, I would say. I wasn't expecting to get it for $33, and that was about the maximum I was going to spend on it anyway because the money's kind of tight right now. But, you know, $33, that's a pretty good deal, and I jumped right on it. So thank you to the eBay seller, too, for getting it to me fast. I got it a day early, which is always appreciated. And it's a really nice model in general, and will definitely be used a lot at MSP and wherever else I may need to use it. Because, like I said, Sun Country still has one of these in their fleet, I believe. So I can use it for that one, or really any Sun Country 737-800 in the old livery, because it's really just a winglet difference. But it probably will be retired sooner rather than later because of the no winglet thing. It's probably one of their first 737s. So that means it's probably going to get retired eventually, which is a bit unfortunate because the old aircraft with no winglets, they're getting rarer and rarer these days. And fortunately, I never got the chance to fly this particular aircraft. I did get to fly on it was a Delta 737-200 with no winglets. That was pretty awesome. Actually, Sun Country still has a 737-700 with no winglets too, so I still have that. But of course, I had the Panda Models Sun 700 with the winglets. So, you know, I'll probably use that for if I ever get the 700 in here. A really nice model, of course, by Gemini, even though it's older. Still a very nice model, and will definitely be used a lot. So, good job on this one, Gemini. Really nice model here. You know, it's an older mold. You know, I don't really have much more to say on it, but yeah, I really like it. And now we go from the oldest Sun Country 737 release to the newest. I'm not quite sure when the DC-10 was released, so that's why I'm saying 737. But I also have the Sun Country DC-10. Gemini Jets released the 2001 version with no winglets, then they did another one in 2012 with winglets. But now we have the newest one, and this is the Panda Models Sun Country 737-800 with scimitar winglets and the Tide Pod livery. And as you know, my only Tide Pod livery, Sun Country for now, has is the Shapeways Custom. So this will be a very big asset, of course. And well, we'll do a quick check of the box right here. It is kind of plain. It just says Boeing here, and it has the aircraft here. And on the back, we have the Ryanair 737 nose. I believe that's Ryanair. Looks like the Ryanair livery. But it's pretty much just a generic box. But it does, at first glance, it looks to be a little bit bigger than the 737-700, but I don't know if that's just me. It probably is just the same size as the 737-700 box that I got for the Sun Country aircraft. And also for the A319 and the A220neo for Vistara, or Allegiant and Vistara, and Sun Country, or the Southwest 737-700 and you know, all of them, all the Panda models that I have. But nice addition to the Panda models collection. Definitely collecting a lot of Panda models lately. This one, no yellowing on it at all. And we'll get this unboxed here, which is a little bit more difficult than the old one because this plastic is grooved and stuff. That took a while. Sure, that was just wonderful, but here it is. Uh-oh. And the first thing I noticed that the landing gear fell off. Shoot. How did that happen? And it's not in there. Well, I'll try to find it. Yeah, I found it, and well, it's now on there as you can see. But I think I have to glue that on, as that is not going to stay on there. It was the rubber that came off, so I'm not really sure how that happened. But I found it, and now it's put back on the landing gear there. So here we have the Cockpit Windows with no eyebrows, nose gear, of course, and then the L1 door and the Sun Country titles in the lowercase here, and then the beautiful orange, of course, going down. Panda livery is so beautiful. Actually, all the Sun Country liveries are beautiful. I like them all except for the Arial text font one. I don't know why they did that. We have zoomed in here on. I'm trying not to break the nose gear. I'm being careful here. Here we have the overwing exits and the exit paths. The engine, which I would expect to have detail on it. It's pretty much the same as the other one, but it has these things the camera can't pick up very well. And here is the winglet, which has like the topograph lines, which you can also see over there, which we'll get back to later. And then the inside of the winglet has the Sun Country logo. And then here is the registration, November 842, Sierra Yankee. And this particular registration, I believe, is they only fly this one on like charter routes, and I think I've seen this one based in Gulfport, Biloxi. That seems to be where this one does most of its flying, which is a bit unfortunate that I have the Sun Country model, but it doesn't fly to MSP. But I also use it for MSP, of course. I couldn't not get a Sun Country and not use it for MSP. Oh, I also forgot, this is a Waffle Collectibles exclusive. I know this is kind of an awkward time to mention it, but this isn't a Waffle Collectibles exclusive. I do not like buying from Waffle Collectibles, but you know, sometimes it's important. I bought both of these Sun Countries from Waffle Collectibles because they're both exclusive to Waffle Collectibles. So there you go. And this one got delayed in shipping. There's Boeing 737-800 right there, and the American flag. And here are the topograph lines. I'll get zoomed in on that. You can see it just looks pretty cool. I never even noticed it for a while on the aircraft, and I actually noticed it for the first time when I was watching JJ Skippy's review of the NG models, Sun Country 737-800, which unfortunately I don't have. But this will be a good replacement for. Well, not replacement for, but you know, filling in for that one, because that would be a really nice aircraft to have. But you know, this one will work in its place. But you know, nice topograph lines there, and it's kind of just a minute detail of the aircraft. It's kind of random, I would say, but I mean it's not, because you know, land at 10,000 lakes. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of in a weird spot, but you know what? It looks fine. It looks cool, actually. Then here's the tail, which I said this is the newer logo, and I'll bring in the old model here. So you know, we'll put both the tails together here. As you can see on the new one, the S right here, it curves sharper than the other one, and also these lines are a little bit sharper as well. So I prefer the new one over the old one. I think this logo looks a lot better. I don't know, feels more sharp. There's really no other way to put it, but I think it just looks a little bit better than the old one. Also, I think the colors on the old one might be a little bit faded there. I don't think that orange is quite accurate. I think in the new one, that orange looks correct, and on the old one, it's not really showing up on camera that well, but in person, I mean, you can see the difference on camera, but in person, there's a pretty striking difference. The old one looks kind of brownish, and I think in real life they're both the same color, but that's probably just how model making has become better in recent years and back in 2001. So I'm guessing that's the reason behind that, and I don't really blame Gemini Jets for that. Here is the nose once again, the beautiful livery here. This wasn't my, Sun Country had their employees choose the livery, vote on the livery. This wasn't my first choice, I'll admit. I liked option D the best. If you know what that is. Actually, I'll pop it up on the screen here if I remember. Hopefully future me who's editing this video remembers to do that. But I'll pop up the different teams, I guess is what they're called. There you can see them. I prefer option D the best. But this was solid. Let's just be thankful that they didn't choose option B, because that tail, like, come on. I'm not even looking at it right now, but it's just engraved in my memory of how bad the tail looks. But what does look good is this beautiful winglet here with the scimitar, because I think Panda I would say does the scimitar the best, because both Gemini and NG for that matter have the scimitar, which is too big. I believe this is the correct size, or at least the closest. This might be a little bit small, but I think this is definitely the most accurate scimitar winglet that is out there right now. So good job, Panda, on that. Panda, I always really like their stuff. It's also good that this one didn't come broken, because Panda does have some issues with QC. I didn't do a proper QC check, but we'll do that right now. But other than the landing gear, the rubber there, which broke off, and there you go. That is an intact plane, except I'll have to re-glue that nose gear back on. But this one we can go over the top of the aircraft. We have the antenna right there, another antenna back here. I'll have to move that fuzz out of the way. Moving to the underside of the aircraft. Here's the nose gear once again. Is that antenna? Uh-oh, that one's bent a little bit. I didn't show that on camera, but that one, yeah. That antenna is bent, and that's kind of as a result of how detailed the aircraft are these days. That the reason that they all come broken is because they're so detailed, and that's just kind of why. Try to put on too many details, and then it's broken. But that's a bit unfortunate there, and I don't think I'm going to be able to push that back. I tried to push it back into place, but it doesn't want to go. So I think that's going to be permanently like that, which is a bit unfortunate. It's just it's just bent. There we have the cargo door. Here's the stand hole, and then the landing gear doors, or landing gear compartment, landing gear well, whatever you want to call it. Here the main gear. I didn't know that these Type livery had a black hub. It might actually be blue in real life, but maybe on this particular aircraft it's black. And then here is another antenna. That one correct. Actually, both these antennae are correct. Here you can see the topograph lines once again, which they keep on going actually for quite a ways here. But still really cool to see there. Of course, the blue. On my shipways custom, I actually have it inaccurate because the blue comes to an end at a sharp point rather than that curve there. But that's, maybe I should just look at Sun Country planes from the bottom once in a while. And here is the tail once again. So a really nice model here by Panda. I think they did a great job on this one, just like Gemini did with the other one. I'll actually bring them both on the screen here. I can fit them both. Move them back a little bit. And here you go. So it's two great Sun Country models. I can't believe I got these both in the same week. These will be two huge assets for MSP. Actually, probably my two most realistic Sun Country aircraft, as I don't really have a realistic Sun Country yet, because I have the Shapeways Custom, which does not look that great. The other Panda model, 737-700, which is, well, retired and scrapped, that actual aircraft. And then the Transavia hybrid livery, which does not currently exist in Sun Country's fleet. Although these two, I'm not quite sure on the story behind that 737-800 there in the old livery. They're both 737-800s. The Gemini version, the old livery, I'm not quite sure. That aircraft might be retired or maybe doesn't exist. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look at that. And then the new livery, which is used for charters, and does not fly to MSP, or at least not that often. It is based out of Gulfport, Biloxi, which I have done a one-off model airport on. Check that out maybe if you would like. I'm not forcing anything, but that's the story behind that one. I guess it's accurate, but you know, I would like it to be based on MSP. This is really cool to see here. These two will both be huge assets for MSP, as I said. I expect these to appear multiple times. Now I have 5 Sun Country models, including the Shapeways Custom, which I'll try to not use too much. I mean, I'll use it if I need a type pod livery, but you know, it is inaccurate. Well, of course it is. I made it with my own hands, not printing off a computer. It's gonna be a little bit inaccurate, and it's not that, you know, it's not that great. It's not that high quality. It's the Shapeways Custom. But now that means I have 5 Sun Country 737s, and then 6 if you include the DC-10, which I will try to use hopefully never, because they don't fly that one currently. But it's still a nice model, and it'll still be a nice display piece, of course. But that'll do it for this unboxing. Thank you all for checking it out. I know this is probably a little bit of a longer video, but I hope you all enjoyed this double unboxing here. And I will see you tomorrow, as always. Good night. Auf Wiedersehen.